Hello there. My name's Matt Green. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer here at Juris Digital. And in this video, I'm going to give you an inside look uh, at a tactic that we've deployed for this client recently that within a month resulted in them signing a six, potentially seven-figure case. So let's get into it. The strategy is not a new one. The idea is we're blogging and providing analysis of specific accidents that occur, in the client's service area, kind of throughout California, and that are reported on in the news. And so this tactic, unlike other search marketing tactics like trying to rank for car accident lawyer or truck accident lawyer, or trying to rank for informational keywords like how long do I have to file a personal injury lawsuit. Uh, Unlike those where you're kind of targeting broad swaths of folks who might want to talk to a lawyer, with this strategy, we're targeting the actual specific victims and families of victims of serious accidents. And so, in general, the volume of leads you're going to see from this effort compared to those that I previously mentioned are going to be less. But the quality is presumably, and what we see in practice, going to be much higher because we can pick only cases with, ostensibly large damages. And then we know that we're going to be hearing from the folks directly who are involved in those accidents. So again, it's not a new tactic. Personal injury lawyers have been doing this kind of since they started marketing on the internet. But we have developed some very specific kind of nuanced tactics here that we find are crucial in terms of being the difference between just getting traffic and actually turning that traffic into people who contact you and ultimately choose you to represent them in their case. So in this video, I'm going to go over what those tactics are and how we can help you deploy this. So what you're looking at right here is the accident analysis blog that we created for this client, Michael Silva, whose firm is out in Turlock, California. The first thing you'll notice is that this blog doesn't look like a law firm website, and that's intentional. So I'll show you, this is his actual website. This is the homepage. You can see there's really no aesthetic overlap between that and the blog. The reason we did that is a couple-fold. First, we want this to fall under the category of free speech and not advertising. So we want it to look like a personal blog of a lawyer, a place where a lawyer is, or a place where a person who just happens to be a lawyer is expressing their opinions and analysis on these various accidents. And second, and I think even more important, is that we want the people who find this blog, when they get here, we don't want them to immediately think, oh, this is just a law firm website who's trying to get my business. What we instead want them to think is that this is actual valuable information, valuable analysis by a real lawyer. And by earning their trust in that way, we're more likely to get their business. And so the great success we've seen early on with this campaign, I think, can be heavily attributed to the design, the specific design we created. It's very minimalist. It's very simplistic. This is an example of a post. We do have a call to action here. Let's get answers. So rather than free consultation or something like that, everything's geared toward getting answers about what happened in these cases. We also have like this Why I Blog page where we we really say, the goal of this blog is to find out the truth about what happened. We say, we want to shed light on serious accidents that require deeper investigation in order to achieve full accounting of what happened. By doing so, I'm trying to offer victims and their families a lawyer's perspective on the right questions to ask about their case. And so again, it's very sort of passive in how we're talking about getting the people to contact you. So the next sort of nuanced but critical thing we're doing here is that on all the posts, we have a prominent call to encourage people to leave a comment. Because with this sort of tactic, often a comment is the way that you'll actually get the lead. People have something to say about the accident, right? Sometimes people correct information. They say, you said that it was raining. It wasn't raining. So you'll get comments like that. And then sometimes people will leave a comment just kind of describing their relationship to the person involved. And so here's an example of that. You can see at the bottom of the post, we say, leave a comment, know something we don't, leave a comment to let us know. So in this case, there was a comment from the victim's sister-in-law here. And then this is the client, the attorney, kind of just following up saying, responding to her comment. And then a couple days later, we've got a comment from the father of the victim's children saying that they actually want to talk to the law firm. And so then, the client said, I'll email you directly. And so the other nuanced thing we're doing here is recognition that any way that people interact with this site and these posts should be viewed as getting a lead. And that should be responded to quickly. So that's the third thing I want to talk about. An effective execution of this strategy relies heavily on being able to respond to any sort of inquiry very quickly. So whether that be a comment, whether that be a form fill, whether it be a phone call, or even whether it be a post removal request, right? So in a lot of cases, people want the post about their accident or their loved one's accident taken down. And frankly, sometimes, not often, but sometimes people are upset that it was ever posted to begin with, which is understandable. In those cases, we offer this form to request a removal. We've had clients in the past actually tell us that they've had people contact them upset and wanting to remove a post, but because they got back to them quickly, they were empathetic, they were understanding, they actually were able to engage in consultation with those people and sign them up as a client. So again, with this strategy, hopefully with all of your marketing, you're responding to leads quickly, you have someone on your end who is qualified to answer their questions and make a good first impression. But with this tactic in particular, that's especially critical because, again, these are potentially very large cases. And so the leads need to be treated with kind of white glove service. So that's another critical aspect of this. You're not going to have success with this campaign if it takes you hours or days to get back to people. You're not going to have success if you route them through your, standard call answering service where they're talking to a person who can't actually answer their questions or help them take any meaningful action. These leads need to be, again, treated with that kind of white glove service. Okay, so then another thing to tell you about is just how we, find the accidents to blog on and blog on them. So we have advanced search operators that we use to find these cases in the news, and then we run those against, the standards that we have or fact patterns that indicate that there could be a viable, actionable case. So our team handles that. And then another important aspect of what makes this type of strategy viable is doing this in enough volume that you have enough posts out there that you're going to get the traffic and contacts necessary to turn these into cases. So in this case, for this client, we're doing 3 posts every single day. So that comes out to like over 700 a year. That's a pretty large scale. And so you might be thinking like, surely I can't afford that. But how we're overcoming that is we're heavily relying on generative AI, ChatGPT, to create those analysis. So this is just an information of how we've trained up ChatGPT to act as a ghostwriter and draft these posts. So essentially what we do is we identify the accidents. That's done by a human being on our team. We feed that to this trained up ChatGPT, and then it writes the actual posts. Then, of course, we edit the post, we review it, make sure we're not saying anything we don't want to be saying, and we publish that on the blog, incorporating SEO best practices. So, the way that people find these posts generally is they're searching the name of the person involved. So let's see if I can give you an example. So if I go to Google and I search her name and then accident, this is the client's site right here, ranking number 1. And so that's generally how people are finding this. So we've got our posts optimized for those type of searches. So let's look at the actual performance and how this has worked so far for this client. So this is a snapshot of their organic search traffic over the last 6 months. This is when we launched the accident blogging. And you can see a basically immediate, drastic increase in traffic. And so these tend to get traffic quickly because they are things that are in the news, and people are searching on them. And so it does add a large amount of traffic to your website. And then what we're also seeing in this client's case is about 3 to 4 contacts per week on things that they've posted. In just over a month, they have, they started receiving leads basically immediately, leads and traffic upon launching this. And they've already signed up 1 potentially large case. So in terms of a return on investment, you're looking at for this campaign, potentially the investment is a few $1,000s a month to us. And then in this case, their return is already basically there by signing that large case, a massive return for that matter. And so my overall assessment of this tactic is that it's great for multiple types of firms. It would be really good for if you're a small personal injury firm, it's just you, or it's just you and a partner, and you're just starting out. You don't have a high caseload, but you also don't have a large overhead, where a handful of really good cases a year even would make a big impact on your business. This would be a good investment to prioritize because you're micro-targeting these really good cases rather than kind of competing in the same spaces as all the other PI firms. And then it would also be good for larger personal injury firms as kind of an add-on to their existing search marketing investments, and a way to kind of, so they have their funnel over here of kind of their everyday car accident cases, and then you tack on this strategy to add kind of your largest, biggest, and best cases. So hopefully this was helpful. If you feel like your firm could benefit from this, we're ready to get started. Thanks.